Hey everybody, it's that time again. Let's talk about what's going on all across Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex and especially Collin County. So before I get into the numbers, as every week, I always like to give context. So mortgage rates are at the highest point they've been this year. Why is that? Of course, you know the conflict in Iran. 10-year T-bill sitting at just about 4.6%. Prior to the war, is at like 3.89, so that's a huge increase. West Texas Intermediate crude was about 102 the last time I looked, and Brent crude was $109 a barrel. This is all inflationary. Of course, we had high inflation. I think it was 6% annual. Until that comes down, if you're sitting on the sidelines thinking you're going to wait for rates to drop, that's not going to happen anytime soon. The Fed is talking about maybe increasing overnight rates. Again, as I always state, the Fed overnight rate doesn't affect mortgage rate. It affects car loans, credit cards, short-term loans like that. It's a 10-year T-bill interest rate that affects mortgage rates. So as long as that keeps going, rates are not going to drop. So it's still a good time as a buyer. And sellers, it's a good time for you to sell because you're going to get less on your home, but again, you're going to get the next house that you buy for less. It's not 2020, not 2021, or halfway through 2022. Thank goodness that was not fun for anyone. Realtors or not, you think realtors made a lot of money, made more money than normal? Probably. But it was not easy for anyone. It was very stressful for buyers, stressful for sellers, stressful for agents. Sellers didn't think they were stressed, but it put a lot of pressure on them, especially if they're looking for another house. So let's get into the numbers. This is for all of Dallas Fort Worth. There were 9,324 new listings. That's up 351. 1,047 homes went back on the market. That's down 40. 1,066 sellers didn't get the message and increased the price of their home. That's down 142. But look at this, 10,942 sellers decreased the price of their home. That's up 1,048. That is over 1,000 more price reductions than new listings that hit the market. And I'm seeing that every week. That means that homes are not priced appropriately. Listen to your agents, as I emphasize every week. They have the data, Zillow doesn't. They have access to it, but they can't use it because we're a non-disclosure state. Zillow doesn't know what your house is worth. Redfin doesn't know. Realtor.com, only realtors and title companies know what homes are selling for. And again, it's a non-disclosure state, so you have to be in a relationship with an agent to get the data. There were 5,500 and there were 1,944 homes that went under contract. That's down 87. 5,506 homes closed. That's up 202. I accidentally misstated. It was the same as last week on my short video. And there were 656 homes that expired off MLS. That's up 64. 2,915 home sellers canceled their listing. They're just done. That's up 346. Most of the reason your homes aren't selling is because you're not listening to your agent. You're not making repairs, priced inappropriately, maybe location. The only thing that can fix location is price. The only thing that can fix a bad layout is price, because you can't really do anything unless you get an architect involved. Location, there's nothing to do to fix that. Now let's talk about Collin County. There are 5,506 homes available that are active today. 558 homes are under contract. 1,793 homes are pending, and we had 5,942 homes close in Dallas or in Collin County this year. So homes are still moving. People are still moving. We still have, I believe the number is 377 people relocating here a day. It's like 123,000 people moving to Dallas Fort Worth a year. I think Houston actually is 400. Austin was somewhere in between from what I recall. So bottom line, people are still moving here. We have Y'all Street now. We have corporations relocating all the time. So yes, there's demand. I would like to see us have a little fall off in home prices. I know sellers don't like to hear that, but our biggest issue out there are taxes, insurance, and where home prices are. I don't think we're going to see those drop, any of those three drop anytime soon. And do I think there'll be a housing crash? No, I don't. We have too much demand. But it'd be nice to see a little cooling off. We're seeing some cooling off. In Collin County, the average price of a home has dropped 6.1%. That was the data that came out this last week. So, sellers, if you think your house is continuing to rise in Collin County, definitely having some issues there. There's things going on, especially in Collin County, they're affecting that. It's all over the news. I'll let you look that up. But if I can help you with anything, feel free to reach out to me. It doesn't have to be real estate wise. I lived in Dallas since I was 2. I'd love for you to like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching this video on YouTube, my dog Augustus would too. See you next week. Feel free to reach out to me. All my contact information is at the end of this video.